Hey nerds, so going to talk about Alex O'Connor again, YouTube Philosopher, who looks more mustachy in this video, so that's good. And he's going to talk about Jordan Peterson and accuse him of being an atheist, which is obviously very interesting since Jordan Peterson can never shut up about Christianity. And when he's asked whether he believes in God, he doesn't say, he never actually gives a definite answer. He goes, well, what do you mean by do? What do you mean by you? What do you mean by believe? What do you mean by in? And what do you mean by God? He just basically doesn't admit that he does. But based on this argument, he says that Alex says that basically, based on the logic of Jordan Peterson's own argument, he actually is an atheist according to, if you go with the typical logic of atheists to that they think proves that God doesn't exist, basically.
Jordan Peterson is an atheist. For Jordan Peterson, our ability to do just about anything requires a belief in some set of value judgments. So
yeah, this is a ridiculous philosophical concept that I've criticized many times before. It's this sort of like Jordan Peterson fans have to do this a lot too. Like my super orthodox Christian friend who I used to talk with a lot, who's fucking such a huge Jordan Peterson sycophant. But this is a stupid idea. You require a belief to do anything. Like if I scratch my ass or take a shit, it's not because I believe I should do those things. There are things that are just called instincts. Instincts are not based on belief, and we do things that go against our beliefs all the time. Like many people, they know they should work out and follow a healthier diet, but they don't. That's common with a lot of people over the entire world. So, that's far from the only example of people doing things that they know they shouldn't do, like getting so drunk that you're hungover the next morning. Everyone knows they shouldn't do that, but people do it anyway, right? So that in itself is just a dumb concept, and it's sort of like a lazy interpretation of pragmatism, really, that our beliefs, we base our actions on our beliefs, which is like, it's the type of pragmatism that someone like William James, who's not the founder like Charles Peirce, but one of the most seminal figures in pragmatism, it's something like basically what he would say: we require a belief to do any action, which is stupid.
So here's an important question. What is at the top of that value hierarchy?
The highest place is the divine place, and we could make that a matter of definition.
Wow. Peterson says that as a matter of definition, whatever happens to be at the highest place is the divine. So what is the nature of this thing at the top? Peterson's answer here is astonishing.
Well, what should...
And he's said before, he's basically made this kind of stupid argument in, I think it's 12 Rules for Life, that no one is an atheist because everyone has a highest moral value, and your highest moral value is automatically what qualifies as a divine for you. So by that logic, everyone believes in God because they have a highest moral value. But your highest moral value doesn't have to have anything at all to do with God. There are plenty of atheists who are out throughout the world who live fine with God. If you want your highest value to be God, fine. Don't try to make other people do the same shit, in the same way that atheists shouldn't try to get people to not base their highest moral, the top of their moral hierarchy on the divine. You shouldn't get Christians to not, or any people in any religion to not do that if you don't want them to do that. But he's basically turning this backward and showing that according to the type of logic that atheists typically use to them debunk God, that Jordan Peterson, according to basically his own logic, is actually an atheist, even though he never shuts up about God in the Bible and seems hella fucking Christian.
What should be in the divine place? I would say we characterize that using fiction. And so we could say that in the highest sense, God is the ultimate fictional character. And then we're trying to characterize his nature as that which should be emulated, that unites us psychologically and socially.
This is exactly what atheists say. God does not exist except as he is invented by the human mind. And the reason why the human mind invents God is to provide some psychological and social stability. If this is not atheism, then what is? Jordan Peterson is an atheist.
I'm basically inclined to believe that. I'd say like I'm an agnostic atheist. I'm open to the possibility that there are gods, though I think extremely highly likely that humans invented gods. And you know, Jordan Peterson literally said God is a fictional character. That doesn't mean he doesn't believe that God exists, though, because he has this weird view that you're seeing you for biblical, you know, he would call it biblical knowledge. He would see it as like a false dichotomy. I think this idea between like metaphor or the metaphysical and material, which really doesn't make any sense. So that's his that would be Jordan Peterson's stupid logic for why he actually does believe in God. But you shouldn't go around telling people what they are and what they believe that you know better than themselves. Like, it's stupid for Jordan Peterson in 12 Rules of Life to say, no one is an atheist. But, and obviously, like, Alex O'Connor in this video is being a little bit tongue-in-cheek with saying that Jordan Peterson is an atheist. But it is true. It is true, though, however, that Alex O'Connor points out that in a certain way, according to Jordan Peterson's own logic, the guy who never shuts up about God and the Bible, that specifically the Christian God, does not, it's not actually the case that everyone believes in God because everyone has a highest moral value. It's according to Jordan Peterson's own logic, he does not believe in God. So according to that logic, Jordan Peterson is an atheist.